Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Taheton County. I kind of overlooked doing this last week. Partially due to the fact that I was a little irritated by the fact that my recording software decided to update and change a bunch of settings on me. I'm pretty sure I have everything good to go for this time. But we are actually in our beautiful 8410 John Deere, and we are finishing up contracts in the county for spreading fertilizer. I've tried out a couple different sprayers, spreaders I guess is the correct term for this, because it doesn't actually spray, it just spreads whatever you have in it. In this case, solid fert. And I always seem to come back to this Kubota one that we have decked out in John Deere colors. And the reason why is because I just kind of find myself having a lot more control over, where it spreads versus a trailered version, which I will show you the two that I have been using. We are actually heading up to field 156. I do apologize. I am dealing with I don't know if it's a head cold or just sinus issues, but it's kind of mixed with my seasonal allergies that are starting to kick in right now as well. So, hence why I sound like, stuffy nose nonsense and all that. I'm going to try to keep from, hacking into the mic. Because, when you have sinus issues and allergies issues on top of that, you're going to be hacking some stuff up. But one field, let me get my thoughts together real quick so my mouth can speak it. Field 156, I need to come through with a bulldozer or something and get that leveled out. Field 156, I thought I had taken care of, but it's such a small patch that I definitely overlooked it. Because I had started up here in the northern part of the county, I did that field all the way back there. And then I must have overlooked this and went to and did the two over there. But this thing has a 24-meter spread. I should be able to do this in one quick pass, if I am not mistaken. But we also went through and we spread fertilizer on some of our fields. Yes, you heard correct. Between the last video and this one, with all the work I've been doing on contracts, I have actually purchased some fields. And we're going to head over that way. Well, we had one field purchased before, I'll put it that way. And that's because when you purchase... Ooh, no, we're not going to beat the train! Oh! This might cause an issue. Let me fix this real quick. There we go. Don't mind me. We just have to wait for the long train now. At first I thought the train was far enough away that I would be able to make it, but then I realized the gate was coming down. And the brakes didn't want to stop. So since we're waiting on the train, which is almost done, this is the field that we had last time. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4 more fields that we're going to go check out. Now, part of the reason why I got some of these fields is I did start getting a deal on some of them just from doing the contract work. So I took advantage because I had the money and I had a deal worked out to where I had like 10% off or something like that for one of them. No, that was like 15%. I believe I have it set up to where every time I do a contract, I get a 5% discount tacked on, and it maxes out like 50%. So that is one of the deals that I have set up. Now, Doesn't mean I'm going to go through and buy every single piece of land, mainly because I don't think I plan on doing that much work. But one thing that I do plan on doing, we're going to actually pass up here on the left before we make our turn towards home. Should be on the other side of this patch of trees here on the left, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, up there on the as the road curves to the right. And that is going to be dealing with the winery. I think it's a winery or grapery, or I don't remember exactly what they call it. Well, as far as farming sim goes, let me be clear on that. In the real world, it's a winery. They do call it a winery. Taheton County Winery. I am thinking of buying that and starting to do grapes and get into that line of work. I'm hoping it'll work out. I haven't done any testing with it yet, but it does have the structure, as it were, on the front of the property to be like if you were to grow grapevines. So I'm gonna have to do some testing off camera, off screen, unless you guys want to see that. I'm gonna have to do some testing to see just how well we can make that work. Because if I end up buying the property and I can't actually use that facility, those facilities, to do what I am intending on, then we may just forego it. I thought about turning in there, but that's right, we gotta come down here. 1 second. Yeah, don't mind me, I'm just over here hacking up along. This cornfield here, we do now own. And it is a very unique field in my opinion. But it does kind of go, if we can get out of the trees here, it does kind of follow the rolling hills, as it were. And we're going to turn down here. So this house actually is sitting on our property as well. And we do now own those silos, which are working silos actually. Because if you look on the little mini-map, those two blue dots are those silos. Now we'll need to get some grain augers and whatnot to deal with that, but yeah. So actually, I'm going to take this spreader off. Come on, go forward, not backwards. So this is the first one that I used for probably about half of my fertilizing, spreading, or fertilized spreader, spreading contracts, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, just getting the fertilizer out there. Now this actually worked out quite well in my opinion. Let me try to get away from that equipment. Nope, didn't want to disconnect you. So with the way this works is the fertilizer comes down these hoses and it spreads that way. Whereas both of these actually fling it out the back. Now I don't really mind this style too much, nor do I mind this style, because I was using this for quite a few fields. As you can tell, it's been well used and abused. But, and there's another one, if I'm not mistaken. This one. This one has a 22-meter spread. Same concept, same idea. It has bigger capacity. 33,000 versus 22,000. Also 18-meter versus 22. But this is the way it pops up in the shop. Lizard FK 330. 330, 220, or 110. Those are the three options. Now, like I said, I actually enjoyed using it. I mean, you have additional lights, beacons, warning triangle, which, yeah, there it is. I think I'm going to remove the lubricating grease mod. It's just kind of getting annoying lately. Not really working out the way I was hoping it would, and just kind of seems to be irritating at best of times, because it kind of leaves me with a message up in the top left, which in this case I'm not in a vehicle. It says you need to fill. So I forgot that I actually filled the lubricating grease when I got the stuff out of it. Now, I feel like a piece of tool like this trailer is fine, in my opinion, on something like this. But you have these thick tires. Granted, so is my tractor, but that's beside the point. And it doesn't. If you think about it in the real world, you're not going to use this necessarily on probably something like that unless it's just in the early stages. Same with corn. You sure as hell won't be using it with corn in the late stages. Same with that one. Yeah, this one you wouldn't. You'd use probably one of the, at least I would, because I'm thinking about getting it for that purpose. Nope, that's slurry tanks. What am I looking at? Crop protection. Yeah, like one of these guys. Because I do have, and not necessarily the tricycle ones or this one, but these big guys that can be up above the crop. Because we do have the pieces that can attach to those so it gets up above the crop and it can still spread. Thank you, phone, for that random noise. So I'm thinking about doing that. Possibly going to get at least a case dry spreader like this with the air boom, because I do like that. I just want to make sure that it's going to work for what I need. But we can also get the John Deere version. But I'm thinking of getting a John Deere version for the sprayer. For the same purposes. You can actually get up above the crop and not cause near as much damage to it. That's kind of my thinking behind all of this. Now this guy, the reason why I like it is, I kind of mentioned, when you're trailing this, you have to be careful because of, you want to make sure you're not overlapping too much or getting into another field or anything like that. So you do have to be more careful about it. Granted, with this one, especially with the 24 meter spread, there's the chance, obviously, of getting it spread to places where you don't want it. So you do have to be careful with any piece of equipment, but at least with this, you can, in my opinion, you can be a little bit more precise about where that's going, because it's more so relying on the direction of the tractor, not necessarily the tractor and the implement. So that's just my 2 cents on that. What I want to do next is, we're going to go airborne here for a second. Take a look at our new farm area. What do I want? That's the button I want. There we go. So, this is our farmyard over here with the house. And, if I'm not mistaken, let me double check here. So yeah, we basically, there's this creek back here. And that is the northern edge of the property so far. Which, looks like about where the tree line is there. Straight back is the border, and then it follows this creek bed all the way down through here. Actually, right here is where it kind of comes all the way across, because we don't own this darker green patch here, and it kind of comes across through here, because we don't own this smaller one, but we own this big field. You can kind of see what I mean. It's a lot more difficult from up here, but the more we get down to ground level, you can see just how much of a rolling hill effect that there is. and it's actually quite fun to, get into when you're in the tractor. But there are some spots where I may look into expanding our field, kind of make it a little bit bigger. I don't plan on doing away with this by any means, but we may kind of try to not necessarily flatten, but make it a little bit more of a level terrain for us to be able to farm on. And we'll probably kind of cut this in, kind of follow the actual way the road is going. Can't really do much over here because of the fence line. Now, if I need firewood, I'm probably going to be pulling from this patch of trees here. And as I do that, we're going to be probably cutting the field in closer and closer till that's probably gone. Over here, now, keep in mind, if you guys are doing a brand new game, this tower won't be here. I added it before I even bought the field, just for the sake of it looked like a good spot. So technically, this was here before I purchased the field, because I just plopped it down, not even thinking, because it is kind of a high point. If you look around, it's, without being actually in a field, it is a high point in the area. Because, I mean, there are a few trees here and there that might poke up above what this does, but this seems to be the high point of the county. And I thought it was a good spot to put that radio tower. But yeah, some of these spots, like in through here, we may level out to make it a little bit, gotta get our head above the corn, there we go. Kind of level things out. I'll probably do away with this grassy spot here. I might even, I may actually keep this divot here. Maybe even make a little creek kind of going that way. Or make it a little pond, reservoir type of deal. But it's also possible I may even move that, but kind of make all of that just ground for us to deal with. But yeah, I'd have to do some flattening and whatnot to get this able to make sense to be used. But I do like the effects of that particular field. And this one over here, similar deal. 1 second. Whew, sneeze attack. Sorry about that. This one actually does show signs of having field tile in it. Now, at least one of these for certain doesn't seem to have any kind of collisions, but over here on this side, this one I know does. And there is, I think this one has collision. I like the idea, but if I can move them, I'd probably put them in like a grassy spot. And just because it is farm sim, make it to where they don't have collisions. So, this field is a nice long field. I don't plan on really doing much with the grass in this. Maybe that one I might do away with and make it tillable ground. But this one, at least when you're kind of looking at it, it does make sense. But I still might kind of, at least up here on this end, I may end up tilling it up or plowing it up and making it into ground for us to use. We don't own that or that. But I might purchase this area just because we do have this nice little hidden spot back here. So, it took me a hot second to figure out actually how to get back in there. And yeah, I could probably get up like I am doing now and look at all the different fields to figure out exactly how to get into them and whatnot. Because all the way over here, yeah, like these fields back here, the only way I've actually been able to find so far to get back into these is basically this spot here where the power lines go through. I guess technically, but technically I don't like driving on fields that aren't mine. I mean, that might be something that if we were to buy this area over here, we would actually just make lumber out of, cut up our own path to make. Because as much as that's easy to get into here, there's really no other decent path, and it just doesn't seem right to me. But yeah, so the last patch, I mean, we do have that plot all the way back there, close to the corner. We do own this grass now as well, or this field now, yeah, which is soybeans. I have, let's see here. This one is narrow soybeans. This one, and the one in the back are all regular soybeans, and then of course we have our field of corn. From my experience, narrow soybeans do harvest the same as regular soybeans in this game, so I don't think I'm gonna plant narrow soybeans, but yeah, I'm pretty sure we do own. Yeah, we do. We basically own until we hit over here to 92. So what I'm thinking of doing, actually, I need to double check the terrain and whatnot, make sure it makes sense, but expand that field so that way, well, I might at the very least kind of bring it down into here around that pond, but have another one over here, go around the telephone poles, and kind of have it come all the way into here. I've also thought about possibly doing 2 different fields in this area. And then we do have if we actually end up getting into any kind of animals, I do have this nice little patch of grass that I can plow up and actually make it to where I can fertilize and do all that fun stuff with it. Same with this spot. So, yeah, basically this is the line here. So technically we don't own all of that, just part of that. Yeah, it's basically just cut right in half. So, hold up. Oh, that's right, that's 72. So yeah, we don't own this part, but our property line does kind of come up to it. So this is another one that I thought about doing, because it is a nice little, has a nice little path to get into it. Right, we'd have to come all the way down here, which is rather far to get to, so if we were to do that, part of me would actually just kind of want to go along our property line and just have a road come straight up there. You know, why not? It allows us to get firewood. You know, maybe leave a row of trees and then head down that way. Because then we can still have most of that grass field if we ever buy it. But yeah, that's kind of an update on our field here in Taheton County. Haven't quite got the setup yet as far as... let's see here. Come on back down to earth. Whoa. Turn the speed down of our player. Ooh, speaking of silos, one thing that I have found, there is a mod in here that would allow us to kind of be able to treat these silos that are just kind of display. I think it's under regular silos. Alright, so that would make it into a hayloft of sorts, which, if I were to do that, I could actually do it with this guy over here. You know, something like right there. I could do that and make it look good, and there is also, like I said, I have sniffles, so I do apologize. Sniffles, coughing up stuff, sneeze attacks, which is what I had a little bit ago. So I do apologize, guys. I am trying to get better, and that's why this video is a little delayed coming out. Let's see here. So yeah, I thought about using like one of these guys. And actually, this one has a higher capacity, interestingly enough. But I also thought about doing one of these at the front with one of these discharge pipes. I know it's kind of doesn't really make it legit, as it were, but it is an option, so that way we can still use these guys, or, you know, treat them like, you know, they are the proper silos. I also have thought about doing, you know, something crazy like, you know, just plopping in one of these guys in front, but I have a couple of different options ahead of me, so I will think of something properly to see about getting these guys to work right. Since I can't exactly get rid of them. Even though they're valued at $84,000, I might have been able to get rid of them before I bought the land. I don't know. But if anything, if we ever need to get more silo space, I can always build a big silo complex over here on the other property, because we have the space over here now. You know, sell these, get everything leveled up, and get one of our big massive silo complexes that I got somewhere in here. And part of the reason why I want to do that, or would love to do that anyway, is because I haven't been able to. At least not recently. You know, be able to get a massive silo, or massive farming situation where I have the capacity to do that. And yes, I know I have a lot of mods, and yes, I know I don't always use all of them, but too bad. I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. So this is another option I thought about putting into. I'll just use these as an example. So have this kind of set up, because this would allow us to fill it up and then get rid of it. Fortunately, it looks like they're all... Yeah, it's just the different height of the auger, it looks like. So, yeah. I have quite a few different options ahead of me. If we ever get into wanting to do anything with farm animals again, I have plenty of options for sheds. But we'll see. I think we're going to call the episode there. It's kind of been a hit or miss type of video. I do apologize about this video being a day late, at least at this point. It might as well be 2 days late, considering I know it's not going to come out till late evening time frame. But at least I'm getting it out. So guys, as always, if you happen to like what you see, if you catch yourself watching more than one of my videos, as we do an autosave, please do us both a favor and hit that subscribe button and ring that bell. That bell will let you know of every single video I post, and not just like you here and there. And this actually wouldn't look too bad over here. As I get sidetracked, I would just have to figure out a way to make sure that we can get out of the area. So I'd have to do something like that and get in my cornfield. Anyway, I hope each and every single one of you has a very wonderful day. And I hope your week is going great for you, because it is hump day as I'm recording this, and it should be hump day as this comes out. So I hope you guys have had a very happy hump day. Take it however you want. So with all that being said, guys, take care. Peace.